You're probably sitting there thinking, wow, no, not another. Please, not another Cubase tutorial. These tutorials are so long. An hour, 20 minutes. That's just lesson 1. 41, it's crazy. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna show you how to navigate Cubase. The interface is the most confusing part. Yeah, I'm not gonna teach you how to do things. Like, there's so many tutorials on how to set up the interface, how to draw MIDI, how to use the chord editor, all those pads. This is more of a comprehensive tutorial for those who know how to learn, that want to figure out how to use the software better. How to learn the interface. Instead of figuring out how to do those things specifically, I'm going to teach you how to use the interface. So this is one of those teach a man to fish or show a man to fish. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, here we go. The first thing I wish I knew about was top and bottom zone. It's a really interesting dynamic. I can click on it, it'll move the playhead, or if I double click, it'll play it. If I click on the top, it'll move the loop area. And I can also hold down Alt and then press Control to set the start. Oh, zoom in and out, bottom zone. Top zone doesn't do that though. And it's kind of interesting because this has it for this as well. The top zone up here where it'll draw, and then the bottom zone will stretch out the bottom or move it, but top will draw. It's really interesting. So even with MIDI events here, if we go into this, on the side we have the keyboard, and you have this outer layer, right? Like the top here, the top up here. You have this behaves differently. The next thing I want to go over is this gear icon. This gear icon basically lays out everything that's shown to you here, and depending on what it is, there might be more options to dive into. And then this will usually open and close other areas, other regions, other parts. And I'll show you again right here. So you have this as well. You can go to setup to see the overview right here, and I can just assign a preset. And right here you can have the right sound. See, it'll open and close different areas. So just a little heads up on this. Once again, gear shows what's in the top bar. This will open and close different zones, and that's on the mix console, so look out for that. It's everywhere. Okay, there's no tutorial like this out there. I made this because it was one of the hardest things I had to comprehend. Down here in the zone you have these 3 hamburger dots, which will allow you to expand certain areas. Let's say you want to see more of the metronome down here, just go ahead and click on it. Boom. The next thing I want to talk about is the tabbed regions. They don't really explain this, but you have a lot of tabs, and the top tabs and the bottom tabs are different. So upper tabs will will open up different areas, and then the bottom tabs will allow you to switch. For here I have control, and this is my headphones. It's not my master, but I have all these tools to help me mix and master. And then like meter, I have a loudness thing over here. Even on the bottom here, you have these tabs down here, which will allow you to access different zones. So there's tabs everywhere. Inspector has tabs. This has tabs. You have mix zones. You move buses around. Also, what's really cool is, let's say I like this chain right here. I can snapshot it, and then I can go to my history. Let's say you play with a bunch of this stuff, and let's say I didn't like adding all that, I can revert to any of those. It'll just change the settings. It's like effect history. And then from here I can take a snapshot here, and I can load this one. Alright, next we can talk about this E, which is, I'm not really sure what to call it. If you want to access it, it's this E icon. It kind of expands on a lot of things. You can add something like a arpeggiator, and then you'll see that E right there. That's how you access things. This E is everywhere. You can edit a lot of things. Plugins are popping up on the right over here. You have the metronome. You can change certain things. Let's say I have quantize. This little E right here will open the settings. The E is kind of like the settings. It's like expand. It expands a lot of different things. You're gonna find here and there that have an E next to it. So here's another example of the E. It's kind of like expand, but it's not. Alright, hope you guys learned something. If you did, hit that like, follow, subscribe. Have a great one.